You said to get juicy, so am I missing out if I don't have a hoe chapter? Unclench your butt, basically. We have 3 holes. It's just not true. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Ali. Today, we're getting real. So, welcome to what I believe is the 4th installment of my TMI Girl Talk Big Sis Advice series. Basically, I'm here today just to answer any questions that you guys are too afraid to ask your mum or too embarrassed to ask your friends. Someone commented the other day that these are like a modern day dolly doctor, and if you're Australian, you know what that means. That just means the world to me. So, disclaimer, obviously, I'm not a doctor. I'm just here to share my personal advice and see if I can help you out. There is no judgment here whatsoever, and everyone is welcome. I know people often say, like, if you're a boy, click out of the video now, but I honestly feel like we would all benefit if boys knew these things too, so stay, fine by me. But if any of my family's watching this, you definitely have to leave. Also, I would love to do more videos like this in the future with friends, and especially some of my friends that aren't straight, just so I can get a broader perspective, because I feel like I can only offer so much to you guys. So if you would like that, give this video a thumbs up and maybe leave a comment. So I put out a question box on my Instagram. As always, I will link that down below if you would like to follow it and be involved in the next video. As you can see, we got quite a good amount of responses. And now I told you guys to not hold back, give me juicy questions, make me feel awkward, and that's exactly what you did. So, how to handle boys pressuring you for nudes. Controversial, but I actually think this is a good thing because it's a very clear, very obvious, immediate red flag. If a guy is pressuring you, I mean, firstly to do anything, let alone with your body or something that you're not comfortable with, it is such a clear sign that you don't want them in your life. And I know that's probably really hard, especially if you're in high school or a little bit younger, where standing up for yourself against these things is kind of difficult, especially when it feels like that's the norm and like everyone's doing it or they're making you feel like you're supposed to. It's just not true. I think as a general rule, with how permanent everything digital is now, sending nudes can be really dangerous. Also a reminder that if you're underage, it's illegal to do so. At the end of the day, just say, look, sorry, but like I deserve someone that doesn't pressure me for that kind of thing. If you ever do want to send them on your own accord, please don't have your face in it, okay? Plausible deniability and all that. Are pap smears painful and awkward? I'm actually really glad you asked this because I had one kind of recently, so it's fresh in my mind. I'm gonna be fully honest. I did find it personally painful, more so than like other checkups that I've had in the past. I mean, they're opening you and holding you open for a little bit, so it's not going to be comfortable. However, it is very, very quick. So if you can like take a really deep breath, count to 3, and it will pretty much be over. The biggest tip I can give you is just to relax, which I know is so ironic and so much easier said than done when someone's literally prying you open, but it really does help. If you find it easier to talk to the person or have them talk to you, that can be a good distraction. I had to stop the first time because I was not expecting it to hurt in the way that it did. I was like, oh, okay, ow. Like made her like stop and start again. And she was just like, hey, if you can, like relax your body, relax your legs, unclench your butt, basically, because it'll be a lot smoother. And I don't think it's awkward at all. Like that's their job. They do that all day. They've seen absolutely everything. It's the same as any other kind of medical checkup. They don't feel weird about it, so you shouldn't either. How do I deal with jealousy? The thing with jealousy is it's kind of pointless because there's no limit in the world to good things that can happen for you. Your friend getting this opportunity is just the universe showing you what is also possible for you. A win for this other girl is a win for me too, and so I feel like I can celebrate that and get excited about further opportunities that will happen for her and for me. So if you can kind of see it as just the universe showing you what is possible and what your potential is, I think you'll feel a lot more positive, and it's really, really nice to celebrate your friends' wins because that's what they should be doing for you too. I feel like you know that you want to feel like that and you want to just celebrate them and not feel any kind of jealousy. So don't be too harsh on yourself if you do feel that way. As girls, we are constantly pitted against each other anyway, so it's not your fault. Comparison is the thief of joy. It will never, ever, ever lead to happiness. So if you do find yourself kind of stuck in a bit of a comparison rut, just take a step back, reflect on those thoughts and think like, okay, what can I replace that with? What would be a more helpful thought to have? And you really can rewire your brain to stop thinking that way. It's just a pattern and we just have to break it. How did you start to love your stretchies? New mama and got a ton and I'm having trouble. Firstly, congratulations. That's so exciting. Well, I mean, it's kind of crazy to me that you even haven't had them until now because I think I've had stretch marks like as long as I can remember. And to be honest, I've just always liked the way they look. I post them on my Instagram all the time. First of all, it's so natural to the point where like, I don't know anyone that doesn't have stretch marks. Especially for you, you just grew an actual human. Like that is the most crazy thing that our body can ever do. It's so powerful, so empowering. So if anything, that's just a reminder of how incredible your body is. But for the rest of us that just have them them naturally. I don't know, I just think they look really cool. At the end of the day, with any insecurity, it just comes down to unlearning. We are constantly taught to basically hate the way we look as women. That can be really hard to argue with in your own mind, but I like to think about all of the rich old white men that profit off of us hating ourselves, and I'm like, don't really need to add to that billion-dollar industry. It would be a lot easier and cheaper if I just decide to love the way I look. And even if you don't feel like you can love your body neutrality is also just a really powerful thing, and just deciding, I don't really care. I just have this meat sack that I walk around in. I don't really acknowledge what it looks like. I'm just thankful for what it does for me. Also, I really find that following people that look like you or a variety of bodies is really helpful. So take a look at your social media. You don't want your Instagram feed to look like 2010 Tumblr. We don't want it to just be like stick thin white girls. No offense. I just think it's really healthy to have a good, broad, diverse range of people to remind yourself, even if it's subconsciously, that like everyone looks different. I just think our bodies are so cool, dude. And the fact that when we grow, it grows with us, and that is just the sign of that. I think it's beautiful. I'm the only single girl in my friend group and get no guy attention. What is wrong with me? I have this question in a different variety of words asked about 200 times in here. So firstly, out the gate, I think that just shows you you're not alone, and that's very common. And I could have sent that in myself. Like a younger me could have written that. Out of my close group of friends growing up, I was the only single one, and it's really hard. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you and say, oh, just love yourself, because it is really challenging, especially when you're young and everyone's doing that for the first time. It feels like a really big deal. I can obviously say now that it's not, and from experience, waiting till you find someone that you actually really like has been a great experience. Would recommend, but I don't think that makes it any easier at the time. All I would say was, don't worry, there's nothing wrong with you. Everyone is on their own journey. Everyone's going at their own pace, and there's no timeline for any of that stuff, whether it's first kiss, first time having sex, first time dating someone. It does not matter, and looking back, you really won't care either. It's kind of like getting your high school score. Like, it matters for like the day that it happens and you get it, and it's exciting or disappointing, and your first time will probably be one of those options. But then you look back in like 2 years and you're like, oh well, I don't even really remember how that went, because it's just kind of a rite of passage. It comes and it goes, but it's not a defining moment. I just promise you, there is absolutely nothing wrong with you at all. If anything, it just means you have high standards.
I am just not interested in doing it until I find the right person. You see how picky I am about my shoes, and they only go on my feet.
It's not a reflection of your character, your looks, your worth, anything like that. It just happens for all of us at different times. Do I have to change my tampon every time I pee? Now I really do feel like Dolly Doctor. I would say no. If you're someone that drinks as much water as me and you're peeing like every 30 minutes, that would get quite annoying and expensive. The thing about girls is we have 3 holes, and that is 2 separate holes. But my tip would be you can tuck the tampon string up so that you don't like get any pee on it, but no, you can keep it in. Now I just want to take a moment to thank today's video sponsor, which is Ana Luisa. Ana Luisa are one of my all-time favorite brands to work with, because they are just one of my all-time favorite brands in general. They are an ethical jewelry brand based out of Brooklyn, New York, and they just produce the most gorgeous secondhand pieces. Everything is made out of recycled gold, which means you're not creating a new demand for anything. You're taking something that already exists and just giving it a second life. So for a secondhand loving thrifter such as myself, that just makes my heart so happy. You guys literally ask every day on my Instagram stories like what jewelry I'm wearing, where is it from? It's always Ana Luisa. This beautiful necklace is from them, my earrings are from them. These are just classic hoops that I got to replace my old cheap ones that were kind of going green and not going to last me too long. I wanted to get a pair that I could wear every day. They're kind of casual. You know the saying, the bigger the hoop, the bigger the hoe. I think these suit me pretty well. Everything that I wear is from them. This bracelet, this necklace is also Ana Luisa. These earrings, pretty much any of my gorgeous gold jewelry. If you look back at all of my videos, if I'm wearing something, it's from Ana Luisa. Now they have given me a 10% discount to share with you guys, so I will leave that link down below. This stuff is so beautiful, but also just the most incredible quality. I've been wearing these pieces for years now. There's no sign of tarnishing, no sign of going green or losing its shine. I mean it when I say I don't ever take these off, and they're just still in perfect condition. They are honestly just so awesome for constantly supporting me, but more so constantly supporting this video. They're a frequent sponsor of the TMI Girl Talk videos, which I know not a lot of brands would. I feel like me talking about this stuff isn't super brand friendly, but these are like the most important videos on my channel, I think, helping girls with self-esteem and body image and healthy relationships. So yeah, basically we're just really big fans here on this channel. Make sure you go and check them out. Thanks again, Ana Luisa. Love you guys so much. I've put on weight this year since a surgery and lockdown, and it is so hard to accept it. Even without surgery or lockdown, it's very, very normal for your weight to fluctuate over your life. Why am I talking with my hands so much? Sorry. It's very normal for our weight to fluctuate. I think especially for women, and definitely for me when I hit like that second puberty and kind of got boobs. Well, you know, sort of. It's just really normal for our bodies to change. When you add in a surgery and global pandemic into the mix, of course things are gonna shift around. Some things that I would find really helpful are just firstly being really kind to yourself and take note of the thoughts that you're having, because that's just basically a conversation with ourselves. Thoughts are not fact. Thoughts are just the story that we tell ourselves and that we then take in. And then your thoughts basically shape your reality. So your thoughts are really important, but you can choose them and you can be more wary of them. So if it's not something that you would say to your best friend or a daughter or your mum, don't say it to yourself either. Treat yourself to some nice pieces that will be really comfy for you to wear and make you feel good. Also, if you weigh yourself, stop doing that. It doesn't help anyone and I don't think it ever will. I kind of regret saying make these juicy because these are just, I mean, they're good questions. Is it painful when the D enters the V? Please explain what it feels like for the virgins out there. I love making contact with my construction neighbors as I talk about sex. No, sex should never be painful. It's common for your first time to be kind of uncomfortable just because it's a new sensation, and especially if it's that person's first time too and they don't really know what they're doing. However, with appropriate warm-up time and preparation, it shouldn't hurt. So hopefully your partner knows that they need to... Trying to think of how to say this without getting demonetized. I don't really know that much about cars, but you know when like it's cold and you turn the engine on, you don't want to drive off straight away and like rev the engine and go 0 to 100. You want to turn it on, let your car warm up and then go. Girls' bodies are kind of the same. They need that prep time, bit of warm up, and then you can have a smooth ride. I'm gonna put a trigger warning over this next question if self-harm is something that would be challenging for you to hear about, but I felt like I really wanted to answer this because I didn't want to let this question go unanswered or ignored. Should I stay clean from self-harm for other people even if I really want to do it? Obviously, I'm not a professional. I don't really know if I'm equipped to answer this, but if I was your big sister, which I kind of feel like I am, I would say yes. If that's currently the only reason you have for staying clean, then yes, because any reason to stay clean is reason enough. Hopefully in the future at some point soon, that won't be the only reason and you'll want to stay clean for yourself too. But if that's all that you have right now, absolutely think about those people and let that help you. I'm just so sorry that you're going through this. It really breaks my heart to know that you're feeling like this, and I know how common that is. I know that I can't really make that pain go away or stop the way that you're feeling, but I just want you to know that you're not alone and things do get better, I promise you. And if there's just one thing you take away from this video, please, please, please tell someone and please get help. You just deserve so much love and kindness. I'm always here to listen and my DMs are always open if you would like to talk, but I can't offer the proper support that you need, so I'll leave some links below, and I love you. I've been in a long-term relationship for the past 5 years since I was 18, but I feel like I'm missing out on my early 20s. I got a few variations of this question, also some along the lines of, am I missing out if I don't have a hoe chapter? Imagine you ended your relationship tomorrow and became single. And also tomorrow, all of your friends got into relationships and paired up and were completely monogamous in long-term relationships for the next 5 years. Would you feel left out? And would you regret that decision? Would you feel like you are now missing out again? Basically, would you regret it? Because I think what we need to figure out is just, are you making that decision because it's something that you want or because it's something that you're seeing other people experience and wondering what it's like? And it's perfectly fine no matter what your answer is. You just want to make that decision for yourself. If you think you're going to get 20 years down the line or 50 years down the line and regret not exploring more and not dating other people and not even spending time alone, then that's totally a valid choice to make. You don't have to have a hoe phase, and you also don't have to have a long-term relationship or a marriage or a partner. You can do whatever feels right. Just follow your instinct and know that it's okay to make mistakes. Just try to be honest with the people that you care about. Okay, I'm just seeing so many more of these. Like, I'm 19, I've had no first kiss, no boyfriend, boys never talk to me. I need help, please give me advice, I feel alone. What am I doing wrong? Oh, there's nothing wrong with you at all. I'm gonna open this up to be a bit more of a discussion because I love that, you know, we can be kind of interactive with these videos. If any of you watching this feel comfortable sharing your experience below, because I want to prove to this girl that it is so common and so normal to be any age and have no not like experienced those things yet. You know, I feel like when we're going through that, we feel like, oh my God, I'm the last person in the world to accomplish this or achieve this. And I would just honestly love to show the people that are going through that it's very common and a lot more normal than they think. Also, you have all the time in the world. Yeah, dating can be fun, but you're so young, you're still a baby, and you're gonna have those experiences. I promise you, they're gonna come. So just don't worry about it right now. Focus on yourself. This is the perfect time to be selfish, to figure out what you like, your hobbies, your passions, your interests, travel the world. Like, I wish I could give you a hug and tell you don't worry about it, but I know that's so much easier said than done. I promise there's nothing wrong with you and it'll happen. Advice on making friends as an extreme introvert. Hello, that's me. Totally. God, a guy just walked past that looked so much like Bo Burnham. Yeah, totally can relate to this. I think following your passions is always the best way to meet people. And I had a few questions being like, how do I like meet someone that's not on a dating app? This goes the same way for meeting friends or like a romantic partner. Follow your passions.
Why couldn't it be follow the butterflies?
Going into those spaces is where you're gonna find like-minded people. Online, potentially, like on social media, I've made a lot of great friends that way. And in fact, let me plug right now my Facebook group. So it's just a Facebook group for all of you if you want to like connect and talk to each other. I think we have already like 1,000 or so girls in there from all over the world, and it just makes me really happy to read all of the interactions. People have had meetups all around the world. People have actually started dating from meeting in there. So I'm not gonna put the link here just because like anyone can find this video, but if you want to join that and like you're following me and you're in this community and whatever, just DM me on Instagram and I'll send it to you. I'm not sure if you've already covered this, but anxiety tips and tricks would be great. Oh, I feel you, dude. I'm really sorry to hear that you're going through that because anxiety sucks donkey butt. I honestly think the most helpful thing for me was my weighted blanket. My boyfriend got me that last year when my dad died, and that was just by far the most helpful thing because it kind of compresses your body and that signals to your body that it can relax. And so that has just been really, really helpful. Also, I just want to say like there's no shame in needing medication or wanting medication. If that's something that would improve your life, then absolutely do it. How would you describe a healthy relationship if you have witnessed or been in one? I think that's a really great question to be asking. We should be learning stuff like this in school because my God, would that help a lot of people? For me, it means a few things. I would say feeling comfortable to be yourself and be like fully accepted and supported, and them holding space for who you are and making you the best version of yourself. Secondly, I would say that you're both still independent and have your own interests and hobbies and like separate lives. I mean, if your lives are just each other, what is there to talk about? Also, I think it's very, very important that you both have other friends, because if you have concerns or are going through something in the relationship and you need to vent to someone else, you need to have those friends that are in your corner and will just let you vent and like be honest. So I think a partner in a healthy relationship would want you to have those friends as well and like encourage you to see them. I think it's a very big red flag if your partner doesn't want you to have friends besides them, or if they feel like they're the only person you need in your life. That can be very dangerous. I think the number one thing about a healthy relationship is just communication, and that's really boring. I think the foundation of a good healthy relationship is respect, liking the other person and respecting them for who they are. Everything else builds on top of that. And ultimately, I would just say, do they make your life better? Do they make you happier? Do they make you healthier? Are you better off for being with them? How to move on from a relationship that never happened. Oh, the main thing to remember here is that if there's someone that you never dated, all you're gonna see is potential. You never got the chance to be annoyed at them or see their bad habits or have fights or see any of their negative traits. All you see is like the potential for what it could be. I know it's a cliche, but time does heal all wounds. So if you can take some time apart from them, unfollow them on social media, try and get some distance, try and meet new people, work on yourself. If it helps, you can even pretend they died. Are STIs a big deal? I got one from the guy I'm seeing and he played it off like it's normal. I kind of have two answers to this. So firstly, STIs are probably a lot more common than you would expect. There's nothing shameful about them. There's nothing dirty about them. Just chat to your doctor and they'll help you. However, what is a big deal, I think, is if someone is sleeping with you, especially if they're doing so unprotected and not being open about carrying something, or when they last got tested. I think that's a really important conversation to have. It's just a sign of courtesy for the person that you're sleeping with, for them to like have that peace of mind. I think that we should definitely as a society be having conversations around that a lot more. This is actually a really big part of consent. If someone has something and you don't know about it, you can't consent to having sex with them. That needs to be an informed decision, so they need to be upfront about that. But for your health, you're going to be completely fine, and just chat to your GP or go visit a sexual health clinic and everything will be okay. Honest feelings on diet culture. I feel like I could make a whole video about that, honestly. It is one of the things that I hate most in the world, and I feel like it gets normalized way too much. It's very sneaky. It's often disguised as like wellness culture and health, and it's just not. Obviously everyone is different, so I don't think it's really fair for me to say that like intermittent fasting is just diet culture normalized, because that's not necessarily true for everyone, and for some people that is what is best for their digestion and well-being. However, I do think there is a great deal of diet culture that goes kind of unnoticed in our society currently. One of the ways that I think it's easiest to identify it is through the language. Like when I see marketing that uses words like cheeky or sneaky or reward or indulgent, those kind of words are telling you a story and putting emotions onto food, and food doesn't have emotions. Food is neutral. There is no good food or bad food or sneaky food or indulgent food. Those kind of words really just can mess up someone's relationship to eating, and I think once that damage is done, it's a lot harder to undo it. We're meant to eat kind of like the way we pee. Like you can tell when your body needs to pee, so you go and do it, and then when you're done, you don't really think about it until the next time you need to do it. I think that is kind of the healthiest way to be. The diet industry is like $1 billion industry as well, and I just hate the thought of others profiting off the suffering and starvation and self-hatred of especially young women. So fuck diet culture. We are all designed to be different sizes and different weights and look differently, like depending on literally where you're born and what your genetics are. So I just don't think any one diet really works for anyone. I think you should eat intuitively, eat what works for you, and your body will find its healthy weight. Number one message from this video, just please be kind to yourself. Should girls make the first move when they like someone? Yes, absolutely. I think it's not really fair that we expect guys to always make the first move. I mean, especially if you're both girls, like one of you has to. So I really like this question because I thought it could kind of prompt some thought and a discussion between us. So what do you most like about yourself? And this is not something that we sit and reflect on enough. So I'm going to share what I like about myself, but I also want you guys to leave a comment below and like think about what do you love most about yourself. It can be physical, it can be about your personality, anything. I think we don't take enough time to reflect on how great we all are. For me personally, I really love how positive I am. I think that kind of ties into my resilience and how much I've been through, but my ability to still have a good outlook on life, even though people have done some really, really bad things to me. In the world, I still ultimately have like a really good outlook on people, and I still ultimately want to see the best in everyone. I think that's a skill. Some people might think that's like a real weakness and you should probably rethink that, but I don't know. I think I like the way that I see the world. Yeah. I also think I'm really funny. So this person said, I really, really like my teacher and I think he likes me back, but I don't know if I should do something about it or wait. So I don't know how old you are, but I'm guessing the use of the word teacher means you're probably in high school. If you think your teacher does like you or have feelings for you, that is very inappropriate. When we're young, especially because shows like Pretty Little Liars really normalize this stuff, it's really easy to feel like if someone older has feelings for you, that it's really cool. Someone older than you having feelings for you, especially if they're your teacher and in a position of power, take the time to think like, why can they not date someone their own age? Why are they incapable of being with someone that has had more life experience, who has a fully developed prefrontal cortex? They are choosing to pursue someone that is vulnerable. Not only are they older than you and therefore have that power and that position, but he is your teacher, and that just makes this illegal in so many ways. I don't say any of this to scare you or to make you feel bad, because you absolutely have not done anything wrong. But if this teacher, and this goes for like male, female, anything, if they are making you feel like there's a connection between you, there's something romantic or sexual going on, they're flirting with you, anything like that, you need to tell someone. You will realize when you get older, that's not okay. Also, if they're treating you in a certain way and sort of being romantic or flirty with you, they very well might do that to someone else or already be doing that to other students. So it's really, really important that you tell someone. If there's a teacher that you trust and can confide in, please speak to them. I would hate to think of anything happening to you, and it's really important that you talk to someone. What to do when your hair down there is way too long because of lockdown and I prefer it without hair. I like that you ended that with like what you prefer, because I also got a lot of questions saying like, help, I'm really insecure about my body hair and things like that. Firstly, I will just say I saw a TikTok a few months ago of this girl saying that body hair on girls is disgusting and dirty and unhygienic, and I just have to wonder what kind of education she has, because in case someone doesn't know, It's okay if you don't. Body hair exists for a reason. We would not exist with body hair and evolve to have body hair if there wasn't a reason. Like, think of our eyelashes. These are here to make us look beautiful, obviously, but also to keep things out of our eyes, right? The same goes for our eyebrows. It catches the sweat and it keeps things out of our eyes. The hair on our arms, all of this good stuff, that's to keep us warm. This is our fur. Body hair down there, it's also to keep you clean, and it's not unhygienic. And for anyone that thinks like that girl and thinks men should have hair but women shouldn't, where is the logic in that? If you prefer to not have it, that is also completely fine. I love feeling like a dolphin, really silky smooth, as long as it's for you and not for anyone else. So obviously we have shaving, waxing, what is it called? Like epilating, where it like pulls it out. I can't do that, terrifying. And laser hair removal. I've never tried laser hair removal, but it seems kind of miraculous and amazing. I'm just a bit too scared of the pain. So if any of you guys have had it, especially like bikini, Brazilian, any of the sensitive areas, I would love to hear about your experience. If you think I could handle it. But yeah, if you're in lockdown, you still have the option of shaving, waxing, and hair removal creams. And I'm gonna end this video with this one last question. How to tell if a guy really likes you or is using you? I think it kind of comes down to what they prioritize and what they plan with you. I had a friend a few years ago who was seeing this guy and would try and make plans with him, and he just said to her point blank, like, I don't really hang out during the day. That was a pretty clear sign. However, if they actually enjoy like spending time with you and eating meals, general things that you would do with like a friend, that shows that they are more invested and wanting to build a proper relationship with you. I asked one of my guy friends his perspective on this so I could sort of get some insight, and this is what he said. It's a lot easier said than done, but setting explicit boundaries if you think that they like you and seeing whether or not they respect those boundaries, that's great advice. Honestly, I think if someone really, really cares about you and respects you, they will respect those boundaries. And if they're just kind of using you, they won't. He also said, but you have to remember that you're dealing with another person and their feelings also. So no game playing or seeing how much they want it or anything like that. I think that's pretty decent advice. Well, I hope you guys really like this video. I honestly love making them. I wish I could hug you all and let you borrow my clothes and just have a big old summer party. For now, this is probably the closest we can get. So give this video a thumbs up if you did enjoy it. Subscribe down below for more videos, and I'll see you next time. Bye.